It's Mad and Goo, and today is literally my favorite unit of all time, believe it or not. Female Sage. Is she actually worth it though in DQ2? Stay tuned. So, yeah, Sage Female is actually my favorite unit. I don't know why, other than she just was the unit that I was so happy. I always get Sage. They're always female in every game that I possibly can get Sages in that I could choose. So with this is actually going to kind of be a little sad in how I go through this, and this is kind of a hint on how I rate this unit overall. But most importantly, the leadership effect increases heroic spell power by 20%. Good, good leadership effect, especially if you're going to do the Jessica shenanigans. Um, Overall, honestly, that's a good one, but you know, um, she's not the only one with it. Um, Her first skill, Fast Chant, would be a little different if this wasn't just herself. If this was able to be anyone else, increasing speed and spell and recovery power by 1.5x, she would be going from a middle end character to a very, very high end character just from that one skill. But unfortunately, it is just herself, and that does limit her. Second one, Devil Proof Multi Heal. Restores a large amount of HP and increased spell resistance for 3 turns is a wonderful healing skill, along with increasing spell resistance. And as I say, if she could also increase spell and recovery power by 1.5x to others, you're talking a super powerful healer who can do damage, which would be incredible, but that's not the case. Platinum Cannon does very high and heavy spell damage to a single enemy. It is one of the most powerful skills, but it is non elemental, which has its positives and negatives. And her only elemental skill, and it's a dual elemental, is Heavy Whoosh and Zam spell damage to all enemies. This, on average, will deal more damage than Platinum Cannon as long as you don't hit weakness or strengths on those elements. And it has an incredibly large range. In all honesty, this would be most heroic damage skills, but because they knew she was a little weak, this is not a heroic skill. She does not have a heroic skill, though, so just be warned in that regards. Her awakening skills, she could twice cast 20% at half power. That is just like Veronica, and the third and fifth gives her 5% that double cast increase up to 30%, along with 5% spell power and magic runaway. Getting up to over 10% magic runaway does give her some pretty good strength at fifth, especially if you could get her to dual cast on top of it. But she is just too RNG base. She does have bang and zap resist as well. Her stats, her defense HP for a hero is pathetic. I mean, it's still pretty good for a spellcaster, but she can be one shot by some enemies. This is highest level, not just right out of the box here. Her MP is pretty low at 551. You see, all of these are in the hundreds for her main damage, so she will run out of power. Another thing is, it would have been really nice if she was able to continuously replenish MP on demand. You'll see a little bit later why I'm saying exactly the way I'm saying. Her weight is only 60. It's not like the hero at 65. They do know that she is weaker. Unfortunately, she is just far too weak compared to the other units in the DQ3 range. Her agility is pretty good, 445. Her wisdom's high, but honestly, I feel that she needed to be in the mid 500s for her to actually be powerful enough to follow Hero and Zenlon. You're going to her preferred weapons, the Wand of the Great Sage. It gives spell power and wisdom, and can if you can get Mighty Storm power, she can deal some pretty good damage overall. But as I say, in all honesty, if you don't get her, and I wouldn't pull for her, there's just way too many better units out there. I would actually highly just focus on wisdom and agility instead. This is a very powerful wand in general, and personally, I would just put it away from her. But if you are going to use Sage a lot, and I really wish I could, it's just I don't have the resources, and also there's just not the need to get her. Hero skill. She doesn't have any, and honestly, they could have just given her an ability to do something for the whole team or something else, just some type of heal or buff for the team, and she would have been so much better. But they didn't give her any. Her pros: great combo of attack and healing. She has great healing skills. She can raise your spell defense. She can do some pretty decent damage with Platinum Cannon and also with her Mighty Whirl. Um, when she gets below 500, she will get a large amount of MP and HP back. So this does allow for a lot of MP usage, but it is not truly on demand. And it can be wasted, especially if you do like PvP with her and she gets hit the first time. What I would suggest people do is for the very first time that you're fighting the Sage, if you could attack her first just to get her under 50% HP, so she regains everything back again. That really limits the massive amount of magic she'll be able to use and does limit her damage potentially. But you might be able to one shot her too with Sorrow or other units as well. Her cons, as I say, Ray talked with it. Her HP and defense combination is really flimsy for a hero and a hero at this point in the stage. So that's my big concern. And as I say, sages are my favorite class. I like the female sages more than the males, always have. And personally, I think the sprite model and everything is spot on, but I'm only going to do the basics. If I get her, great. I'll use her on some stuff, but otherwise, no. Go for Zenlong, go for the main hero. Do not go for Sage. Heavy Hood. Interesting unit. It's a very defensive kind of unit here. It can do some pretty good physical power overall. Got good HP, good agility. It can increase its own speed and mobility for 3 turns. And that attack at 526 is insane for an A level unit. And it can increase its own speed and mobility with the muscle pose. It has no range, but it can really do some crit as well. For an A unit, this is actually a pretty dope unit. In a weird way, I see myself using Heavy Hood more than I see myself ever using Sage. Um, the land impact with the rarely sleep at 20% and does 250% physical damage. And if you somehow get 5 of Heavy Hood, that's 526 attack with a higher physical crit rate and could increase that physical power by 50%. That lamp impact can do some massive damage. And then if you sleep or stun with a Manusa Slash, it's a really scary unit considering that it can increase its agility and also make itself move. And it's a 3 turn for the first turn, so that's a wonderful skill. Do expect to actually see this on some middle end Guild Wars as well. it's a pretty good A unit. As I say, that can increase that speed, and with a stun and sleep, with a lot of damage, has good HP, um, and the defense is a little low. But uh, all in all, great unit. So I hope you guys enjoy. It's really sad that Sage is the weakest unit, but personally, if you have gems you want to burn, it's much better to go Hero or Zenlon. To be quite honest, for a must have unit, we are going to be in a pretty large lull for the next couple of months. So don't feel bad if you're a little low right now. We'll have some time to gain up. There are going to be some fan favorites coming up summer in November, at least for us Northern Hemisphere people. It's a little late. Today, though, is incredibly hot out, especially for November. Heck, it's basically summer outside today, hence why I'm a little late with this video. But they're not the greatest units, but they do have some really nice sprites. And then after that, we have War of the Visions, which once again aren't the greatest units either. We might see some Halloween units or something sprinkled in, but all in all, it's right now the best units are now, and then there will be a bit of a lull. There are obviously going to be some units that are useful for very specific content, but for the average player, um, focus everything you have on Sunland and Hero. That's all. Y'all have a good one, and most importantly,